Good afternoon, everyone. We are thrilled to have with us Mark Hurley. He's the CEO and founder of Digital Privacy and Protection. A topic, Mark, that is always evergreen with our clients is cybersecurity. We're going to ask kind of some big, what are the key takeaways here? First and foremost, Mark, what are the most important things that everyone should know when it comes to cyber?
There are four things. Number one, the difference between cybersecurity and cyber privacy. Secondly, where you're at risk. Third, how the bad guys are likely to come after you. And lastly, what do you do to protect yourself, your family, and your wealth?
Great stuff. So let's start with your first topic there. So what is the difference between cybersecurity and cyber privacy, and really why does it matter?
Well, first and foremost, you really can't have one without the other. Cybersecurity is protecting your online accounts. It involves keeping people effectively from stealing money from you. Cyber privacy involves protecting your family's safety by controlling the personal information that's online, and more importantly, who can access that. But again, you can't have cybersecurity without cyber privacy, and you can't have the reverse.
Okay. What risks do cyber criminals pose to you personally?
Well, I think there's two categories of risk. The first thing people have to realize is that the agreements that you have to assent to get, say, a bank account or a custodial account or a brokerage account, they require you to take almost all the risk of cyber theft if you're even indirectly at fault. These companies spend billions of dollars protecting your assets, but the easiest way to steal is to go through the client, and that's how they tend to target people. The second issue is that burglars and predators are coming after your homes and your kids, and they're going to use the internet to do that. And that's really, in a sense, if you talk to the people at the Bureau, what they're most concerned about.
Scary stuff. How likely are you to be attacked?
Everyone, cybercrime is bigger than the sale of illegal drugs worldwide combined. It is the number one crime. And how they're likely to come after you, it's gotten to the point now where they can correctly guess passwords using computers, say an 8-digit alphanumeric password, that's uppercase, lowercase, letters, symbols, in less than 1 second. They also use software called malware, which is designed to get behind your defenses, and they try to trick you into downloading it onto your computer or any other device. But they've gotten far more sophisticated. They recognize that if a device, when you buy it, it automatically records all the credentials for every account you access with it. So what they'll try to do is get into the device and they get all your passwords. And there are ways to prevent this, but you have to take certain steps to avoid that. The most easiest and most attractive thing for the bad guys to go after there are homes with smart home technology. It's almost like an invitation to hit them. If I get into one piece of technology, say a doorbell or something else connected to your home network, I can get and see everything that's going on there, and it's very easy for me to come in. Lastly, the one that on the physical safety and family safety side you should be concerned about is unprotected social media. The bad guys have now started downloading videos and creating fakes, what are called deepfakes. They use artificial intelligence software to clone voices and images. They've been used in fake kidnappings. They're used to try to generate false transactions. Been very, very successful doing this. Burglars regularly, 4 out of 5 home robberies, they use social media to figure out when to hit a house as well as which houses to hit. And then cyberstalking has become widespread. I mean, this is what the Bureau will talk to you a lot about. The way to think of this is if you don't take certain steps, it's analogous to putting a camera in each of the rooms of your houses and just turning it on and letting anybody see what's going on.
Wow. Okay. And it seems like more and more of these Ring.com cameras are such a common, I mean, they're almost, everyone has them, it seems like. So I guess it's the low-hanging fruit.
It is. I mean, also sort of things like digital light bulbs, coffee pots that are connected to your Wi-Fi, anything connected to the Wi-Fi. I get into one piece, I can see everything going on, and I can copy passwords. And then typically what they'll do is they'll sit and wait and then suddenly strike and loot all of your accounts as quickly as they can.
What should everyone be doing to protect themselves, their wealth, and their families, quite honestly?
Everyone should use basic cyber hygiene. If everyone in our country did that, 98% of all cybercrime would go away. And what that means is using very sophisticated passwords, 20 to 25 digit alphanumeric random passwords that are unique, never reused. There's about 600 to 900 privacy and security settings you should engage on your devices, your apps, your search engines, and your browsers. Everyone should use some really widely available, inexpensive technology, also like a password manager, so you can actually remember all your passwords.
Yep.
A thing called a virtual private network, which encrypts your online traffic. And for your accounts, you should also have a private email that's not related to any other emails you're doing, because what the cyber criminals increasingly do is they go to an account where it has a link that says forgot password, click on it, and they send a changed password link to your email. Well, they'll hack into your email, or they'll steal your device at a bar or restaurant when you're not paying attention, and instantly they can change all your passwords and loot your accounts very quickly. The other thing that everybody should do is they should monitor the dark web. Most of the people who steal your passwords don't have the infrastructure to steal your assets. So there's an aftermarket where this stuff is sold, so you can get alerted if something's been stolen. And above all, do not use identity services. They'll let you know that you've been breached, you got a bad outcome, and things are really bad by the time they let you know. Instead, you should firmly take these steps I've talked about, and if you do that, it's very, very hard for the cyber criminals to get to you.
Got it. Is LifeLock is something I hear about from clients from time to time. What are your thoughts on that sort of thing?
Well, that's one of the identity services, and I'd be extremely cautious about any of these for 4 reasons. As I mentioned, 1, they don't protect you from getting breached. Number 2, if you're actually getting real benefit, it's going to take a tremendous amount of work on your part, about 150 hours. They're very expensive as part of this too. But more importantly, they don't try to protect your cyber privacy. That's what exposes you to burglars and to predators, as well as it makes it easier to breach your cybersecurity. Lastly, these services are largely sold on the basis of insurance or guarantees, $2 million of reimbursement. If you actually read the insurance policy, they're extraordinarily hard to collect on. The way they're set up, say if somebody stole $1 million out of your Schwab or Fidelity account, you would first have to sue Schwab, or you have to sue anybody possibly that might be tangentially related, and you have to pay for that, and that's going to cost a lot more than $1 million. And then only after you're done with that, if you haven't been able to collect your $1 million back, you then can go to arbitration against them. And if you lose the arbitration, it's likely you'll have to pay their legal fees. More importantly, they include in their agreements an out for them, which is they say you can't have even simple negligence. And if someone's an attorney, they'll explain that to you. That means like a foot fault in tennis. So you've done anything wrong, they have no liability. And if you lose the arbitration, you're likely to have to pay their legal fees. We would doubt they've ever paid a material claim. And so this is kind of the hook. Keep in mind, LifeLock was started originally by a con man while in prison.
You can't make this stuff up, can you?
Nope.
All right, Mark, this has been terrific. Thanks for your insights. We're going to do a more thorough client event, I think, in the spring of 2025. But thanks, everyone, for joining us.